Hello there, and welcome to Friday Night Film Noir. I'm Miss Lottie Daw, and this evening we are going to be discussing the movie Scarlet Street. It came out in 1945. It was directed by Fritz Lang, and it stars Edward G. Robinson and Joan Bennett, just to name a few. Now, in 1946, the movie was banned by local authorities in New York, Milwaukee, and Atlanta because of its dark plot and themes. My favorite quote from the movie: Kitty marched to Millie Ray, quote, "Who do you think you are? My guardian angel?" unquote. Millie Ray responds, quote, "Not me, honey. I lost those wings a long time ago," unquote. So let's get to what this movie is about. Picture it. New York, 1934. A cashier at a retail store is presented with a gold watch and a few kind words for his service of 25 years. The boss man, a Mr. J.J. Hogarth, hops into his car with a gorgeous blonde. Christopher, or Chris Cross, that's his name in the movie, holds his new gold watch and watches the couple drive away. He tells a fellow partygoer that he wishes he could be loved by a woman like that. Walking home through Greenwich Village, Chris sees a young woman being beaten in the street. Chris turns to grab a nearby cop while the assailant leaves the woman. The woman is Catherine, or Kitty March. Chris helps her to her feet and walks her home. Along the way, he tells her about his love of art and his loveless marriage. His wife is still in love with her previous husband, a cop who drowned while trying to rescue a suicidal woman. Meanwhile, needing funds for a shady business deal, Johnny, who was Kitty's assailant, believes that Kitty should play on Chris's naive and romantic interest to swindle money from him. Kitty persuades Chris to rent her an apartment, suggesting that he could use it as his art studio. To finance the apartment, Chris steals $500 in insurance bonds from his wife and later $1,000 cash from his employer. Now at this time, that was a lot of money. And yes, the man that was beating Kitty was Johnny, her boyfriend. Unknown to Chris, Johnny tries selling some of his paintings, leaving them with a street vendor who thinks they are no more than $25 a piece. The paintings attract the interest of an art critic, Damon Janeway, who declares the work exceptional. After Johnny persuades Kitty to pretend that she painted them, she charms Janeway with Chris's own views about art. Captivated by the paintings and by Kitty, Janeway promises to represent her. However, Adele sees her husband's paintings, signed Catherine March, in the window of a commercial art gallery, and she accuses Chris of copying March's work. Chris confronts Kitty, who claims that she had sold them because she needed the money. Delighted that his creations are appreciated, he lets her become the public face of his art. She becomes a huge success, although Chris never receives any money. Now, Adele is Chris's wife, and Adele's supposedly dead first husband, Higgins, appears at Chris's office to extort money from him. Higgins did not drown, but he disappeared after stealing $2,700 from the purse of the woman he was trying to save. Already suspected of taking bribes from speakeasies, he faked his death to escape his crimes and his wife. Chris steals another $200 from the safe at work for Higgins. Chris plots for Adele to see Higgins, hoping that his marriage will be invalidated when Adele realizes that Higgins is still alive. Chris goes to see Kitty, believing that he is now free and that she will marry him. But instead, he finds Johnny and Kitty in an embrace, confirming his suspicions that they were romantically involved. However, Chris asks Kitty to marry him, but she spurns him for being old and ugly and laughs in his face. Enraged, he stabs her to death with an ice pick. The police visit Chris's office. Higgins had told them that Chris embezzled the money from Hogarth, who refuses to press charges, but fires Chris. Johnny is arrested for Kitty's murder. And at the trial, Johnny's past works against him. Chris denies painting the pictures, claiming to be an untalented artist. Several witnesses confirm Chris's testimony and attest to Johnny's misdeeds and bad character. Johnny is convicted and put to death for Kitty's murder. Chris goes unpunished, and Kitty is immortalized as this great artist. Haunted by the murder, Chris attempts to hang himself on the night of Johnny's execution, but is rescued. 5 years later, Chris is homeless and destitute, with no way of claiming credit for his own paintings. He sees his portrait of Kitty sell for $10,000. And tormented by thoughts of Kitty and Johnny loving each other eternally, Chris wanders New York, constantly hearing their voices in his mind. Alright, so now let me tell you my opinion of the film. And this is just my opinion. If you've ever seen this movie, please let us know down in the comments section below what your thoughts and opinions are about the movie. I felt it was gritty, and I understand why it would have been banned back then. When we first meet Kitty, she's getting the crap beat out of her by her boyfriend Johnny. Married men cheating on their wives. The more I watched this movie, the more disgusted I got at Kitty and Johnny. Major plot twist comes toward the end. Lots of suspense. The end is so creepy and also very sad. But it is an awesome example of a film noir. It is so good. And you can watch Scarlet Street yourself on Tubi, Tubi. It's an app. If you have a Roku TV, you can download that app. It's under the film noir category. You can watch it too. You might also be able to find it on Turner Classic Movies. I know the Turner app, it switches out movies a lot, so it may or may not be there, but I happen to catch it on Tubi. I highly recommend this film. Like I said, it is just full of excitement. It's not slow. It keeps you wanting more. And I have to tell you, when I first saw, Kitty being beat up, I just thought, oh man, she's getting beat up and everything. And then when it pops up that it's her boyfriend that's beating her for the 1940s, it really shocked me. So I can totally understand why this film was banned in 3 different states. I totally understand that. Because back then, that's something that you just didn't talk about. I'm sure it happened, but you just didn't talk about it. The same with the money embezzlement, and then the murder. And that in itself was also a huge surprise. I did not see that coming at all. Because the whole time you're watching this film, you start to feel sorry for Chris. And you get to know his character, and you just keep thinking, oh, he's a good guy. He's such a good guy. Why is he wanting to get involved with her and her manipulating boyfriend, who's a piece of crap? Like, why is he so infatuated with her? He's just this fun-loving cashier of a retail store that's put in 25 years. He gets, a watch for all that hard work and service that he's done over the years. And he loves art, and his wife hates him. Like, you really get to feel for him. And then he goes and commits a murder. It's crazy. But when I stop and think about it, I watch a lot of court TV. I am a true crime buff. This is something I would see on court TV in today's world. Not 1946, but in today's world. This is something that you would see, that it would happen. So was this film ahead of its time, or was it something that actually, this kind of thing did happen back then, but no one ever talked about it, so it was never known that it actually happened? It's crazy. A person could go crazy just sitting here thinking about it. But watch the film. Every actor and actress in this film was so good. It put you into the story. You have to know what's coming next. Like you can't stop watching it. I highly recommend this film. All right, that's going to do it for this episode. Please stay tuned and join me again next Friday for another movie. I enjoy doing this and talking about it. If you have seen this movie, let us know down in the comments section below. I'm Miss Lottie Doll saying ta-ta.